Hey guys, so today I'd like to talk with you, worship pastors, worship leaders, about a really challenging thing to navigate, and it's how do you handle failed worship auditions? So how do you handle when someone comes to you and they are just not ready? They're not ready to join your team. They're not at the level of excellence that you need. Maybe they just don't understand their role or what they need, or maybe they don't have the fundamentals down yet. A lot of times in past experience, it's kind of a binary answer. It's either a yes or a no. And I'm going to encourage you to think about another way of approaching this. I would encourage you to think about the idea that most of the time the correct answer should not actually be, if it's a yes, great. But if the answer is no, I tend to find most of the time the correct answer is actually not yet, and here are the specific steps that you would need to take to be able to join the team. And the reason for this is that whenever you have a hard yes or no, a yes is fine, obviously, but if you have a hard no, many times there are people who would be able to overcome if someone is guiding them through a process that otherwise will just give up. And you may, a lot of times you have a much bigger chance of hurting them in the process. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you have to have tough conversations and not everybody's ready for that. But anytime that we can mitigate that we can love people well while we're guiding them to the destination that God has for them, that the team needs for them to be on the team and function well, then yes, why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we do that? We don't want to hurt people. So this is another use case of why I created ZJC Worship courses. Let me give you a hypothetical example. So you have an acoustic guitar player who, in your youth group, he auditions for the Sunday morning worship team. He's not ready, okay? You might just say no, but if you have a tool like this, what you can say is, okay, you're not ready here, and I would encourage you to be as specific as possible. Say, I really need you to work on your strumming patterns. Like, I need you to focus there because that's probably the thing that's holding you back. I mean, for example, somebody who knows the chords but isn't confident with strumming to be able to drive it. That's being as specific as possible will help mitigate the potential damage that could be caused. But if you have a tool like this, what you can say is, I want you to succeed. Here is a tool, here's a course that you can take, and then we check in maybe once a month and see how you're doing. And this is a process I've used over the years that has worked really, really well for people who are just not quite ready yet. By meeting with them just once a month to check in, you're showing that you care, you're showing that you're invested in them succeeding, and it's not a guarantee. You're not committing to anything. You're just saying, I'm willing to give you just a little bit of my time, and I'm willing to give you a resource to make it more likely that you are able to join the team in the future. And I want you to be able to join the team in the future. So if you are a worship pastor, you're a youth pastor, these courses could be a valuable tool for you to be able to help solve this for you, to help make it so that when you have to say no, you have a next step to give them in the process. And that's a very important thing. That's something that can really, it's not an immediate thing, obviously. If you have somebody fail an audition, minimum is probably going to be 3 months, and probably more, 3 months to a year, if things go well, before they're going to be able to join the team. But many times you need to work on the next replacement before you need it. A lot of times, if you don't do that, you're going to lose somebody. Maybe God calls them to another church. Maybe they're burnt out and they need a break. These things happen. Life comes up, a family emergency, and if you're not building your bench now, you're going to be lacking in the future. You got to prepare the person who's going to replace the people who are there well ahead of time. That's why we invest in youth. It's why we invest in kids. So I want to help you solve this problem. If you check out zjcworship.com, let me know what you think. And if you think it's a valuable resource, a tool for you that could help your teams, and I really believe it is, you can refer people to subscribe individually, or you can make it even easier by having a group plan that you can just add them to with your church. So I want to help you succeed. I want to help you develop worship leaders and teams in your ministry. So check it out at zjcworship.com.